Just
Gentlemen,
saying.
What is going on with you?
Y'all both have.
Blake, I just want to say, not all people think that way. Personally, I believe there's a lot of things Persona does wrong, but I still like it.
And I there's a lot of things Zelda does wrong.
Oh, we're live.
Trying to justify a Wind Waker being a good game.
Lloyd?
What?
Wait, what?
Blake, get out. Blake, get out. You can go.
Listen, I'm just saying, the same people that don't like Breath of the Wild say Wind Waker has a great world, and I'm like,
go. You can go stream Cold Steel.
Whoa,
the podcast can go on without you.
Whoa.
You can go stream Cold Steel.
What do you dislike about Wind Waker? Hold up.
I found getting from A to B incredibly boring.
That sounds like too much water with extra words.
Man, disrespectful. I love Wind Waker.
This is the first time I've ever heard anyone talk bad about Wind Waker.
Blake's not a person. Blake's not a person right now.
Wait, hold up. When you guys first came into the lobby, y'all was kissy goo goo gaga. Legend of Zelda, let's go.
Yeah, until he said something sacrilegious. I can't be seen with that. Like,
listen,
what?
Wow.
Listen.
Can't be seen with
this
that.
man Shadow Elite told me that I ain't never said a bad thing about a Zelda game, and I was like, you haven't heard me talk about Wind Waker. Wind Waker
It's called Zelda 2. Zelda 2
has
Zelda 2 exists.
We don't talk about Zelda 2, bro.
You gonna say Wind Waker is a bad game and then be like, well, Zelda 2 breathes.
I didn't say Wind Waker is a bad game because I love the music, characters, and like the environments and like it's a great looking game and like the characters are awesome, but I just don't like the boat stuff.
Man, we got Zelda slander already. We barely started. Jesus
Christ. As long as you don't,
and it's not even me today.
As long as you don't say anything bad about Twilight Princess, I don't have to find you.
I'm sorry. Twilight Princess is garbage. Sorry.
What?
No.
Twilight Princess, I just thought it tried really hard to be edgy. I wasn't really.
It didn't try hard. The game was a darker Zelda game.
Man, I just wasn't a fan of Midna. Like everyone loves her. I don't know why.
No, but are you bullshitting? Because I really can't tell you're bullshitting right now.
I would say this isn't the first time I've heard someone say that they thought Twilight Princess was not a good game.
Yeah, Twilight Princess, I will say,
a lot of people.
I will say, I have to admit, I have to replay because it's been a hot minute. I just remember playing it when it first came out, and I was like, oh my god, I just hate everything. I don't know.
It sounds like you were the edgy one here.
Oh man. All right, we got to stop this Zelda madness. All right, we got a podcast start up here, and you guys can go at Zelda if you want to later. All right. So, guys, people in the chat, welcome. I appreciate you guys coming up in here. 51 episodes of the HPMP JRPG podcast. We are out here, and we have so much to talk about. Jeez, a lot of stuff happened. You can already see from the topic title, Final Fantasy 16, Disgaea 6, Monster Hunter. PS5 had a meltdown when it came to pre-orders. There's some shit to talk about, people. All right, we're gonna start off with these intros here real quick. Go ahead, Falcom's Fire Incarnate.
What's good, everyone? Riku's not the only one here. And I'm over here playing some Final Fantasy Tactics and enjoying being here with these JRPG enthusiasts, as I would call you. And let's have a good show today.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Intellectual Gamer Blake. Go ahead, man, with your intro, bro.
It is that time. What's going on, guys? Your boy Westtown HD is here. Your boy Blake Kuhn is here. We in this HPMP today. We got many of things to do in terms of what I'm playing. You already know I'm playing that Mario 3D All-Stars. Stream that for like 9 hours straight on Friday. And we also playing that Cold Steel over on Twitch, baby.
Hey, let's go.
You already know. I know
that boy Gaius.
That boy Gaius, aka Gaius, best Trails character. No cap. Hikey. And your boy's enjoying Cold Steel, and we about to get into these topics.
All right. Shout out to my boy Sebastian. Go with the $2 super chat. Shout out for the late 20-minute start. Oh man, listen, man, we got some people running on a certain time, and I don't know. I was on time. That's all I'm gonna say. I was on time. You know, we had some other people that were just strolling in here, but we here now, bro. Better late than never. All right. Let's go, Miss Atlas Lover, right here. Go ahead, Gab, with your intro.
Hey everyone, it's Gab here for another episode of HPMP. You guys know where to find me, and I'm glad to be back for another episode. We got some good topics today.
All right. Miss Pelvic, go ahead with your intro.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for having me for another episode. Welcome all. I said before, if we hit 25 likes, Shadow would get me a PlayStation 5, and we're at 31 likes.
Sorry,
so,
what?
Shadow,
What?
What was this? Huh?
Oh, damn.
Huh?
Shadow, you
So,
pay up.
make sure to smack that like button. He said you get me another PlayStation 5 that I could give away
Another
to the
one.
podcast.
What?
Yeah,
What?
at
We haven't even
35
played Resident Evil
likes.
2 yet.
So be sure to get to 35 likes. And but yeah, let's get into these JRPG topics. I have some opinions, y'all. So 35 likes, Shadow will give me a PlayStation 5 to give to you. So let's go.
Pelvic, if somehow, some way, this podcast hits 1,000 likes, I will get you a PS5.
Yeah,
Woo!
people finding this podcast in 2045, like, yo, it's at 1,000 likes now.
Man, I have to like summon my following now. Like, yo,
Yeah,
everybody
bring them all over
like
this
this
video
shit.
low key.
Yeah, if that
But
happens.
1,000 likes. Woo, 1,000.
1,000. That's what you need. And go ahead, Mr. Sosuke. I call you the mobile game expert out here because you out here playing all the mobile games. You playing.
Don't
Cristolia.
out me like that. Don't out me like that.
Man, oh man.
But nah, how's it going, everybody? It is your boy, Associate the Bro here. Glad to be back on the podcast. Always fun to talk about games and watch somebody have a potential meltdown because of a bad opinion.
All right. Well, we know my opinions are always right, so I don't have to worry about that. It's some of y'all. I don't know what's going on with y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to jump right into this right now? Do we want to address the big elephant in the room? That's something that we didn't think was ever gonna happen in this lifetime, right now at least. Or do we?
I thought I was gonna have 2 kids when it happened.
Let's jump into Final Fantasy 16. All right, so PS5 had their showcase where they showcased a whole bunch of games for the PS5. They even dropped down the price. But the first thing that they came with hot, Square Enix came up with the story and said, "We got this hot fire for you. You ready for this?" They graced us with Final Fantasy freaking 16. I had no idea this game was coming. Maybe I had it in the back of my mind that it was going to be there, but not this substantial. I would have thought that we got like a teaser image of something.
Now in development.
Holy crap, we got a
Now in
whole
development.
ass trailer. Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Good gameplay too.
And gameplay too. Jesus Christ, like coming from Square Enix, you know how they don't like to give out gameplay that easily. But man, did they show us some stuff. So, what do we all think about this? Let's start off with Blakey boy.
All right, so you already know me. I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy guy. I haven't gotten into the series just yet. It is on the radar. I will play it at some point. Don't at me. 16. It looks really, really good. When I first saw it, I was at work, and there was a bunch of people in the store, and we were all like, "What is this?" Someone said, "Is it Final Fantasy 16?" And we all went, "No way." And then someone was like, "No, it's Final Fantasy." So we were like, "Crystal Chronicles? Is it like another Crystal Chronicles?" It was not. So we were all blown away by the fact that this is actually happening. And then, honestly, I'm surprised that they showed us gameplay, because if they show us gameplay, that at least means they have the first hour of the game made. So in theory, the game should be out this time 4 years from now. Let's hope.
This time 4 years. No, Jesus.
But gameplay looks solid. I believe it's by the DMC5 producer and Final Fantasy 14 producer. I could be wrong. I think that's what it is.
Combat director and
Combat director.
Final Fantasy 14 producer.
Yeah, so it's gonna be your Final Fantasy game, just as flashy as you know it, but it's gonna be like DMC. So we're gonna have that devil trigger in here, baby. Looks solid. One thing I've always liked about Final Fantasy is that you can like start with any entry like as you want, and they're all different. So it's not even like I have to go through like Final Fantasy 1 through 15 in order to play this game. I can play this whenever I want. It looks interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it. The characters in general, I'm still mixed on character designs. I don't think they look like Final Fantasy characters. They almost looks like Dragon's Dogma. Like it just kind of looks like less JRPG and more Western. Like, it doesn't look nearly as anime. And I don't know how I feel about that, but
Ooh, can I go next?
Go ahead, Gap.
I'd like to go off of what Blake said. Yeah, that was something I noticed too, is that it looks like they moved in more of a Western direction this time. And it kind of makes me sad because I miss all the colorful characters and all the weird characters, bring them back. but I was pretty hyped to see that, and also I thought his the character's name was pretty basic. Not gonna lie.
So
No offense, to Josh is out there.
So his name is Joshua, right?
Yeah,
His name-
Joshua
oh, that's why
Shield.
you were saying it. I didn't know that. Oh, nah, bro. Oh, you gotta
Because
go.
Josh is a basic ass name.
Like I was saying earlier, as far as I know, that's not the character that we saw slashing and
It wasn't the protagonist, but he still has a basic name.
I don't think Joshua is a basic name.
Now,
Bro,
wait, Riku, are you
You didn't
saying
grow
that
up in
because of
Canada.
Trails?
Yes, I am saying that.
Oh
Because
man, here we go. See?
You didn't have 3 Joshes in your class.
Oof.
I mean, but I do have a little brother named
We don't
Joshua.
have a Final Fantasy character with the main,
Okay, you're
main
biased
character
then.
named John yet. So I mean, or do we?
Oh man. So go on there, Riku. What do you think of this, man?
For a while before Final Fantasy 16 got announced that it exists, I said that the next Final Fantasy needs to take it back to medieval times. I need to see the dragoons and the mages and the chocobos. Stop with all of this. You guys had your fun with your boy bands and your futuristic, stuff in Final Fantasy 13. I think it's time to go back to the roots, kind of like what Final Fantasy 9 did, going back to the roots. And I feel that them basically doing that with this, I was happy to see that in regards to the world that they have 16 set in, we are basically back into, its roots, the medieval times and whatnot. In regards to the designs, it doesn't irk me that much that the fact that it's not like overly stylish, because I would say, which Final Fantasy do you think started the overly style? I would say that would probably be Final Fantasy 4. If we have to go super early, I would say Final Fantasy 4 was no. Final Fantasy 2. Fidion's character design was actually very, very unique.
Yep.
So yeah, basically since the beginning. In regards to the designs that I see here, I don't have an issue with it, to be honest. Could they be more stylish? Yeah, but I don't think they look bad. I think it is different, So
Okay.
there's that. So
All right, we got a $5 super chat from Baron Handy. It looks like a solo EPG version of Final Fantasy 14 Online. It may receive a visual update, but I like it. Combat is solid, but the story seems lackluster. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really care that much for the story that they presented in the trailer either. But, Sosuke, what do you think about this, man?
Personally, I'm like super excited to see a Final Fantasy game with more action to the action-based combat. Because in 15, it was just to hold the button down and you'll get the job done. The only other action game off the top of my head that was Final Fantasy that I could remember being good was Type 0, and that game had its own slew of problems when it came to how the structure of the areas and enemies were. But this looks like the enemies will actually play off the combat really well. Like everyone else, like Riku specifically, the designs of the characters don't bother me. I don't mind the Final Fantasy 1/3-ish design where it's just like, it's a very simplistic yet works with the time period they're going for art style. Like, it's like, yeah, it's medieval. The characters are supposed to look rather basic and normal with their armor and stuff. Hell, there are a lot of characters in Final Fantasy 14 that look like that.
when I first saw it. Yeah,
not counting player-made characters, by the way.
Yeah. I know a lot of people when they first saw this, like their first glimpse of the game before they started showing more, they thought it was an expansion to Final Fantasy 14. And I thought so too.
Yeah, I thought so as well, and I was like, oh shit, more 14 content.
And
And
then
then,
very 14.
and then it wasn't, and it turned out to be like its own thing. I'm very happy to see what else we can get out of it. I'm not going to comment on the story because it's a trailer and we don't really know much, except the fact that Ifrit is doing Ifrit things, which, oh boy, that sounds interesting, because Ifrit being a main bad guy would mean we wouldn't have to worry about Bahamut. Unless Square does a Square thing and said, nah, he's the bad guy this time. Well, I'm very interested. I hope we can see more out of it.
Okay, all right. We got a super chat from Night Fury 1507. To me, it looks like we got vassals for the what is that? Icons? Emoticons? What is that? I'm not even sure. Just
Icons.
like how icons. Okay, I was right. Just like how Final Fantasy 14 has some vassals for the primals. Okay, I do remember primals. That definitely rings a bell. But it could be the same. I just think they're just like normal summons for the most part. So Pelvic, what do you think?
A lot. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down kind of my categories of like kind of how I do my reviews. It's like the story. I understand this is just a trailer, and we didn't get much, but I feel like I didn't get enough of like what is going on here. You know, even like the visual storytelling. I understand that there's like a war kind of breaks out. Icons, aka summons, you know, happen. Someone's after the Archduke's son, Joshua, but like why? Like what is going? There's just so many like scattered pieces, and I'm sure they all connect. It's just in a way that we don't know how, and that kind of left me like a little frustrated, but wanting more, but still frustrated. And then, but like my friend and I were discussing it. Like she watched a bunch of like, what do you call like theory videos and stuff. And one thing I'm hoping for that honestly, talking to her about theory videos was more interesting than like what the trailer told me itself. Was there might be this like juxtaposition of a child having a icon placed inside them, or like an icon hiding inside a child, because I think that'd make like a really interesting story, right? Like, oh, there's this child, you know, they're a teen, or not a teen, like a tween, you know, and they have this like great power within them, so they're being hunted. But they think about it, like Joshua was told to come inside, he wasn't allowed outdoors. So, you know, having these great powers in children, it's like, oh man, can you kill a child to have an icon? Now this is all speculation, obviously, but like that premise made me a lot more interested than whatever the trailer did, you know? Mm-hmm. So visually, okay, here's my, I don't like the art direction. Yay, it's cool. It's like that medieval colonial time, but it's not fantastical, and I don't like that. You know, I like, you know, high fantasy, it's grandeur, it's epic. Like I don't know, I just wanted something in the sky, something to be whooshing about. Instead, it felt like to me, like if I watched this trailer, right? I wouldn't have known it was a Final Fantasy trailer unless if they never showed the chocobos or like, you know, the summons, that iconic Final Fantasy enemy, that, you know, plant thing. I would have never have known it was a Final Fantasy. Yeah, I would have never have known, you know, and I think that's kind of, I don't know, I find that kind of sad. You know, I used to feel like hype when, you know, a new big Final Fantasy title came out, right?
Yep.
But I did not feel hype. I was very unmoved. I was very unimpressed. Like, you know, graphics wise, I'm sure it's like the graphics look good already, but I'm sure they're going to be made better. You know, it's the first look. But the art design, like the main character, looks boring. Like, just looks generic. You know, even before or after the time skip. I mean, light skin, pretty boy. You know, okay, he has a scar on his face, dark hair. He just looks like, I don't know, like he could be like Noctis's brother. You know.
Yep.
He definitely looks like Noctis' older
he
brother.
Doesn't.
Yeah,
he doesn't look very interesting to me. The character designs, I know there's a lot to be desired here. I get it's the first trailer. The gritty look, I don't mind grit, but I wasn't like, I just wasn't in it. I was not in it. I was not amused. I wasn't impressed. I have an open mind. You know, I am looking forward to more. Hopefully my mind will change. Hopefully we'll get more story. But as it stands, I'm very unimpressed.
And let me just say something real quick in regards to that, because I do hear a lot of people say that they aren't a fan of the art direction that they're taking, and it's understandable because, like I said earlier, since as far as Final Fantasy II, a lot of the designs have been on that fantastical side of things. In regards to, I would say, other aspects of Final Fantasy games, I'm going to use gameplay, for example. That's definitely something from Final Fantasy 1 all the way to now that they've definitely been changing up. You know, it's not even in the same like gameplay genre. Like, you know, they went from turn-based to kind of semi-turn-based, you know, with the active time battle system. And then from that to an MMO. And then from that to kind of action RPG. And now it's full action RPG. So it definitely seems like from a gameplay standpoint, the Final Fantasy franchise over the years has been continuously changing. So maybe in regards to, you know, designs, they decided to, you know, change it up as well. I think I saw one person said that some people may think that it may look generic, but in regards to Final Fantasy's standpoint, technically this would be unique. That's one way to look at it. Something different. But it's understandable everybody's taste and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, and I understand where they're coming from. I guess this is just a me thing. I don't like it.
Nah, Pelvis,
No,
it's not just
It definitely
you.
could be more popular.
For me personally, actually, before I even start to pretty much shit on the game for the most part, well, I don't think I'll be shitting on the game, but I'll just say this: I'm glad that this game is coming, and it looks like it has a general consensus when it comes to what the game is about, development wise, you know. Because for the longest time, since I want to say since Final Fantasy 13, we've had this long, drawn out development times for mainline Final Fantasies, and every time we would see a Final Fantasy or a trailer for Final Fantasy 13, a trailer for Final Fantasy Versus 13, a trailer for Final Fantasy 15, it would always look different, or we wouldn't even get that much. We will barely get anything. But here, it looks like the developers, they know what they want to create. They know the kind of characters, they know the battle system they want to create. So the development cycle for this game should be a lot better than Final Fantasy 15. So I'm glad of that, and it'll probably be released soon, and probably not within 5 or 10 years.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm sorry to cut you off. In regards to Final Fantasy, remember back in the day, per generation, we used to get, multiple Final Fantasies. The SNES, the NES era, we got 3. SNES era, we had 3. PS1 era, we had 3. And then, after that, that's when you started to see, in regards to the mainline ones, the number lowered. What was the PS2 era? We had Final Fantasy, 10,
2, and 12.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, in regards to mainline, so I'm not gonna. I'm personally.
Then we still got
3.
3. Then we still got 3 on. PS2.
We got 10 and 11, and then PS3 we had just 13. Technically, technically 13 and 14, and then the generation after that we had only 15. So we're at a point where we're only gonna get one Final Fantasy per generation. Went from 3 to 2 to 1. So it would be cool that if we get this early into the generation. But do you think with this quick early development cycle, we would see Final Fantasy 17 before PlayStation 6?
I would say probably, yeah. Maybe Final
I would
Fantasy
hope
16
so
might
too.
be an MMO. I'm not sure. But, 17 would be an MMO, but I would think we would see Final Fantasy 17 because
And not Final Fantasy 16 too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I never would have thought that Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 would be made within relatively the same time.
I definitely think those are the two Final Fantasies that we will be getting next gen is Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Part 2. I think those are the only two that we're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. And those are big games. I get that there are two different development teams, but even so, I feel like those projects are huge. That there was no way that you can develop them side by side and not see any problems. Who knows? We might see some problems in the future. I don't know. We only got one trailer. But like Blake was saying, that the game seems to have turned to more westerny. It's more of a western look to me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Blake said the same thing. And Blake, that's one of the reasons I don't care for Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise. I'll just say that right off the bat.
Wait. Okay, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, as a whole, the character designs, they don't scream exciting to me. They don't scream hype to me at all. They look like Pelvic said, generic characters. I don't see anybody that I'm going crazy for. I remember when I first saw Noctis, I was like, yo, this guy looks badass as hell. I love this guy. I'm going to use him as an avatar on every message board I go on. I used to love that shit. But now here, I don't see nothing here that I care for. Even Lightning. I don't care for a character, but she has a unique design, I would say. But everybody that they showed off in this trailer just screamed generic to me. And that's something I'm a little bit worried about, because anytime there's a Final Fantasy, like Pellic said, anytime there's a Final Fantasy, there's always hype. 100% hype from everybody. Here, it's just, for me, it's just no. it's exactly as Pelvic said. If you didn't tell me this was Final Fantasy 16, if you didn't show me the Chocobo, if you didn't show me Ifrit, if you didn't show me Shiva, I wouldn't have known this was Final Fantasy 16. I would have said it was Lost Soul Aside or something like that.
Yeah, that was when I saw the very first picture of the character, like, seconds in, I thought it was Lost Soul Aside.
Yeah, I thought it was remade, rebranded, or something like that, or like completely just.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, Lost Soul Aside. Wait, no, this is 14.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's 16.
and then I thought it was Final Fantasy 15 expansion or something like that, because it doesn't look that much like. And you guys know how Square Enix likes to push the envelope when it comes to graphics for every Final Fantasy. And here it just looks like this game so far doesn't look like anything that couldn't have been done on PS4.
Yeah, no, you're right.
To be fair, this is a trailer.
It is a trailer. That's true.
It's first look.
And
you know what I mean?
And all the footage was captured off of a PC emulating PS5 technology.
Yeah, they did say that as well.
That is true.
Okay.
So like I hear you on the PS4. Like I get you, but I think like someone posted a picture. Oh my god, on my Discord. I'll try to find it. But it was like when Final Fantasy VII was first announced, let's say in 2015, I think it was roughly. Mm-hmm. But then it showed like the same picture in 2020 or whatever. I think that's when it came out, right? It came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a huge upgrade, huge. So I know like we could talk about graphics and whatnot, but just give it a second.
Honestly, I don't think the graphics are going to improve it anymore. I think this is how the game's going to look. I think if they try to get the graphics any better, it's going to mess with gameplay. It's going to mess with the frame rate. So I think this is as good as it's going to get. It might look a tad bit better, but I don't think it's going to get like, oh my god, great the next time we see it in like 2021 or something like that.
As an action game aficionado, I can say if the look of your game interferes with the frame rate, that also screws up the gameplay and it bogs down things in many, many other areas.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like fine. Like I hear you, but I think like I'm gonna show you this picture because I think if you don't see the game side by side, you won't notice it. But then when you look at a game side by side, you're like, oh shit, this is quite the upgrade, But in any case. Graphics, whatever. I mean, either way, it's Final Fantasy. It's Square. It's not gonna be ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. The graphics look great. I'm not saying the graphics don't look great at all, but it's just everything else. It just streams generic. And then the battle system. It seems we don't know if there's gonna be multiple party members or not, or if this is gonna be one or two people we're playing as, and maybe we're switching up each time. But it just looks like and I got nothing against Devil May Cry, but it just looks like that. Like I'm not all that impressed with it, honestly.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked like Final Fantasy 15 if they had fleshed it out fully.
Yep.
That's exactly what I saw. It was like, oh, it looks like they fixed the battle system and made it perfect for this game, but it was screwed up last game.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm interested to see. Because it kind of feels that both of these franchises are kind of going down the same path in regards to how as far as what we've seen for the gameplay. It looks like they're both kind of in the same area, and that is Final Fantasy 16 and Tales of Arise. I'm wondering which one, from a gameplay standpoint, will reign supreme.
I honestly think Final Fantasy is going to be be a better game. Better gameplay wise.
Let's be real there. As much as I love Tales of, I have to agree. I think
really?
Final Fantasy.
You think from an action the action RPG series, when you think action RPG, you think Tales of, and you think Final Fantasy 16 is going to beat out Tales of Arise?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Honestly, I do.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take this from someone who's played a lot of both. Final Fantasy won't be able to grasp what makes action combat in Tales so good, but it'll be able to do something that's its own thing, but never that, damn, this is better than Tales effect. Because yes, it has the DMC Combat Director on, but that doesn't mean, it's going to be as good as that. It might mean they're doing something different. I even looked back at the trailer for Final Fantasy 16, and when I looked at it, I saw some things that were from 15, like a teleport and like a somewhat manual, just like a manual air jump cancel into more air combos. And I'm like, that's very DMC. But if they're trying to just pass it off as more of a JRPG than an action RPG, like it's going to be like, they need to like find a way to balance things out. I still feel like Tales of Arise will be better in terms of the combat because of the customization and the more openness you can do with said combat.
It's interesting because Sebastian Peru said something interesting in the chat. Is Berseria better than Final Fantasy 15 combat wise?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say it definitely is. Final Fantasy 15 combat wasn't all that great, especially in the early going. They did fix it a lot, and it's good. But ultimately, yeah, they do. Like the developers didn't really know how to create a good full-on action-based combat system. Did they improve it? Yeah, a lot, but yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Tales of Arise will beat out Final Fantasy 16. But if I had to bet money on it for some reason, I would put it on Final Fantasy 16.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Real quick, Belvin, real quick. We got a super chat from Backbone Slug. Let's just wait till they show more. I'm in the middle about how I feel of myself, but I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pelvic.
What? Shit, I think I lost my train of thought. I don't. Oh, okay. No, you're fine. I guess we're depending when you say like a better combat system than like Tales of and whatnot. I guess it depends. Like, what do you mean better combat? You know. Like, are you talking about combos or, like canceling? Because like Tales of, you can add and take away stuff, and obviously it depends on what type of, like Grace's F is like my superior action combat game, But then you have games like East, which are really fluid in combat, like, and feel so good when you like guard and dodge perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But I look at like Kingdom Hearts, and I think Kingdom Hearts had fun gameplay. I don't care what anyone says. I think Kingdom Hearts, like you could say it's like overly flashy, whatever, and it's a bit button mashy. But like Kingdom Hearts, like felt good, especially if you knew how to abuse flow motion. Oh man, it was a fucking wrap, my dude. But like, and Kingdom Hearts is Square Enix, and I thought they did pretty good with that. And I never played Final Fantasy 15, so I don't know. But like I don't know. You think it's better or more satisfying, maybe? Because like, even though I think. I don't know. Oh, man, I think Celceta for me was like top action game that rivals Grace's F for me in terms of like peak action game.
Yeah,
that just felt good.
Like from what I mean is basically which one am I gonna have more fun with? Because I think a game maybe could be a button masher, an action game could be a button masher, but if I still have fun with it, I'm gonna give the edge to that battle system. Maybe you can do some more stuff other than button mashing, but the primary is button mashing, and I have fun. I'm kind of okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Super chat from Sebastian. I'll take that bet. Betting that Final Fantasy 16's battle system will be better than Tales of Arise. Yeah.
I think right now
I think
people
so,
are. I think right now, obviously what Gabby said in the super chat, we need to see more. I think it's just that right now. I think it's the fact that at this juncture, 16 from a gameplay standpoint has shown us more than Tales of Arise from a gameplay standpoint.
I don't even know.
Yeah, they have.
No,
they have. In that one trailer from a gameplay standpoint, you've seen
only
more
the gameplay. The only most I've seen with that is just air combos. Like there's just some air juggling going on. That's about it.
No,
did we see more?
Showed us 2.5 arts.
Yeah, but what'd you see in Tales of Arise? That's like it didn't really show us that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. We saw him fight like a boar, and then we saw the girl shoot like her rifle laser, and then that's about it. We really haven't seen that much from Tales of Arise, and that's what I'm saying. I think we just from that one trailer from 16, we saw like more than triple than what we saw from Tales of Arise. Yeah, you saw some air combos, but you also saw him use that. He had like this.
Teleport.
Yeah, the teleport. But he had this one move where he was like summoning these rock gauntlet hands and doing like this punching type of strikes. It was like deeper into the video, but he was definitely doing more than just air combos. Okay. And he was sidestepping and shooting some fires and whatnot. Like we've seen more. Okay. I think that's the only reason why. I think that's the only reason why I feel people right now are saying 16 right now, because we've seen more. You guys have played. I've here. I don't know how much Blake has played. I would say I have played the least amount of Tales of here. You guys have played a shit ton of Tales. I think
I don't know. partly.
Yeah,
Rosario.
I don't know if you guys are giving the team behind Tales of enough credit. Hasn't this been the longest gap between not really seeing anything from a Tales of game ever?
Yeah. We literally got Rosario definitive to hold us over.
They have to be cooking something up, man.
That's
They
true.
have to be. They have to be. If they don't, if they come out and it's some like, this is Zestiria all over again. Okay, they've lost it. They've lost it. But it's been a little bit too long. I really do think they're cooking up something.
Like I don't think Arise is gonna drop the ball as bad as Hysteria did. I just think the combat is not gonna be as good as Final Fantasy 16 potentially. That's what I'm saying.
All right, we have this podcast, so when we see more from both of them, and we go back to what episode is this? Somebody tell me what number.
51.
51. Alrighty, we're gonna come back to episode 51 and have this conversation again. We'll see if anything changes.
I'd love to be there for that. As the Resident Tales fan, I gotta be there.
So everybody on the panel, people in the chat, when do you guys think we're gonna see Final Fantasy 16 drop?
Holiday next year.
2022.
That's what I was gonna say.
60% of the way through next gen.
Oh
no, 70.
70%
of the way through next gen. I'll go get a year for that.
I say either Q4 next year, like at the end, or January of 2022.
I'd say
Holiday
March of
2022.
I'd say March of 2022 or late December of 2021.
Someone in chat said 2036. Yo, that's not okay.
Y'all aren't funny.
So next generation will be the first year. The generation lasts about what, 7 years now?
Yeah, about 8 years.
Yes.
Yeah, you got 2023, 2022, late 2021, early 2022, 2026.
I feel like putting my money on late 2023.
This man said late 2022, mid 2033.
Lord.
I feel it's going to be late 2023.
Okay, can we all agree that, like, from what we got in the trailer, that this isn't going to be like a development hell type of thing?
Oh, no.
You never know what's going on.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Yeah, that is true.
You remember the very first Frozen trailer for Kingdom Hearts, and then Kingdom Hearts 3, and then it came out like 2 years later.
Well, it's like we don't have Tetsuya Nomura here. We don't have him here. Okay.
Oh, Nomura's not here.
Nomura's not here.
You don't know that.
No, high key 2022, like mid 2022.
They probably didn't say Nomura was on it to keep people hope. Oh no, Nomura's not on it. Nomura in the office. Yo, bro, they're not on to us.
He changed his alias.
I'm saying he might be on for the character designs. That might be about
He's
it.
definitely not.
I wish he would.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is definitely not on the character designs because they wouldn't look like this if he was.
Okay.
There's not enough belts.
Exactly. If he was, we would have known it, and we're like, "Where's Tetsuya Nomura? We know you're here. We see all these belts on these characters."
But didn't we say like one character looks like not this?
Yes.
Like, isn't that like kind of like Tetsuya Nomura's thing? No, not this. Riku.
I don't know about that.
All right, they could just look alike, different designers. But
like we said, Lost Soul Aside character was based off of Noctis too.
So y'all really? I need to come back to this.
What happened to that game?
That game is just. We have no clue.
Sony bought them and they just disappeared.
So y'all really think that this game there's some potential for this to be some development hell? Are y'all serious?
Anything?
I'm agreeing 2022.
Has their seal on has potential to be development.
Shadow. What do you mean?
Have you not got burnt enough? Have you not gotten burnt enough by Square to give them, to not give them the benefit of the doubt?
I think from this trailer that we got gameplay, we got a good storyboard, we got a lot of cutscenes going on.
Are you trying to tell me that there has never been a game that showed you a decent amount of shit and then just fucking disappeared? It's definitely happened before. I think we haven't seen enough from Tales of Arise to use that as an example. But
like if they give us like an hour gameplay demonstration and then the game just vanished, that's a problem. Or a trailer like Final Fantasy.
How about this? How about this, Shadow? When do you think the next time we will see Final Fantasy 16 related stuff, like another trailer or whatever? When do you think is the next time?
I say early 2021.
Really?
Yes.
You think Q1 of next year we're gonna
Yes.
see more Final Fantasy 16?
We will get another trailer. I'd
Alright.
say by April we will get another trailer.
High key.
Someone needs Go ahead.
If they bring the FF7 remake to the Game Awards, I can see Square Enix dropping another trailer for FF16.
Actually, you know what, Riku, I'll drop you a bet.
Okay. Okay.
When does Yeast come out? Yeast not come out.
Yeast Night comes out February 3rd.
February 3rd. Oh, yeah, that's early February. Damn, that's early February. I don't know about early February. I thought it came out like late March or something like that. Okay.
As far as I know, it's February 3rd.
Okay, because I was gonna bet you we get a trailer before that. We get another trailer before that.
Yeah, oof, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, see, now that you know, yeah.
You know what? I'm willing to go half. I'm willing to go half. I'll take $30.
$30. That what they show?
That they'll show another trailer of Final Fantasy 16 before that game releases.
Now, in regards to this trailer,
That
because I know how you mess around with BG now, so you and your bets you be a little spooky. They could drop a trailer and it could be the exact same thing, and they show a Moogle. They show a Moogle in the trailer, and it's different, and you're like, "Yep, this is a new trailer, buddy. I won."
What regurgitate the same trailer?
Yeah, companies definitely do that, and Square definitely seems like they're the type to do that.
Square is no stranger to that. They've done it with
a fucking Moogle at the end. That's a new trailer, guys. Or are we talking about a brand new trailer? I would say 70% of it is new stuff.
I would say the trailer should at least be 2 minutes.
I'm talking about the content within the trailer. They could show 2 minutes of the same trailer with a Moogle at the end.
Hey, I'm going half here, man. Give me something here, man. I'm going half. You're thinking it's not going to appear for a while.
I actually never said when I thought that the next time we will see Final Fantasy 16. I was giving you when I think it was going to drop.
Oh, okay.
I think the next time we will see Final Fantasy 16 is earliest next year. The whole E3 time of next year.
That FF16 trailer was 4 minutes long.
That sounds reasonable to me.
I don't know, but all the way in June, July, I don't know about that. I think we're gonna get something before then.
Okay, I'm willing to place that bet then.
That FF16 trailer was 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
They don't have to work.
Yeah, it's up to you if you want to end it there, move on. But yeah, I say summer. We're gonna see it somewhere, a little bit early spring, maybe around there. No time earlier than that.
All right, we gotta come back to this.
I mean, you got another bet, with a certain someone and a certain Resident Evil. So there's that.
Oh yeah, she's still not doing that. I don't know if she's still gonna do that.
Hell, it's easy. Just play through
like,
the game with the lights
She's
on.
like, I'd rather pass.
A whole
are you
Octopath
crazy?
Traveler. I mean, I'm not Octopath Traveler. Bravely Default 2.
You don't even know what you're betting anymore. What's going on here?
Oh,
man. I'm too chicken shit. I admit it.
All right.
Well,
So, before we move on from Final Fantasy 16, can I get a hype check? On a scale of 1 to 10? Everybody? Blake?
0.
1 to 10. Let's see. Like a 3.
Whew. Damn. Jesus.
goddamn.
Riku?
I would say a 6.
Okay, 6. Damn. See, there's a problem here because this is Final freaking Fantasy. It should be 9 to 10.
I'm still getting into Final Fantasy. I've only played 1 through 9 and Tactic.
You've already played the best one, so I'm not sure.
Oh my god.
You're already playing this. You've already played the best one, and you already played what I would deem as the worst ones. So.
Wow.
Well, I mean, people are jacking off 10, so I gotta go see what that's about.
Pelvic?
Oh, I have to agree with it. I'm like a 2-3-ish. Yeah.
Damn.
Gab?
2.
Sosuke?
About a 6 or a 7. 7 more because of the DMC combat director having me interested.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 4. And like I said, this is a problem. This is Final Fantasy. This is a mainline Final Fantasy. The general consensus should be more than an 8. Something is going on. Something is with this game that's not clicking.
It's probably the fact that we're already worried that we've seen the game so early that it's just like, damn, is this it?
A lot of people in the chat are saying they got 8, 6. Somebody said 8, 3, 6 to 7, 8. Another 8, 4, 7s. Like this should be unanimous because I remember when Final Fantasy 13 was revealed, I was hyped. Versus 13 was revealed, I was hyped.
13 when they found out it was coming to Xbox.
Oh yeah, that was a legendary moment.
I think the reality is though, people have lost faith in Square Enix a bit, so they don't actually know if it's going to be good or not yet. So they're kind of weary. With the last game that came out, they're kind of like salty about the DLC thing. Still, so they're just kind of like, we'll see what happens.
Gabby, you would assume that they wouldn't necessarily be that way with their most recent release, which was 7 Remake, which, as far as I heard, was received positively, right?
Yep.
No?
Yes.
So you would assume, in regards to their latest project, that would be the case. But I guess they're still salty because of the stuff that came before that. Then
yeah,
one game wasn't enough. I guess they got to show a consistency of good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like for me, like everything else we got that week with the PS5 showcase and Nintendo Direct, I was hyped for almost anything else. I was even hyped for Room Factory 5. I had more factors for that game than freaking Final Fantasy 16. I don't know why that is. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. I don't even like Room Factory like that. I just had more excitement for it. It's weird. Ah, man. All right. Any last thoughts on Final Fantasy 16 before we move on?
Let us pray Nomura's not.
Wait, what?
I said, let's hope we get to talk about it again this year.
Let us pray Nomura's not in the shadows.
I was going to say that, like I said when I first talked about 16, I wanted it to be medieval. Another thing I wanted, prior to us knowing that it fucking existed, was the fact that not only did I want it to go back to medieval, which I got, but I also wanted them to go back to at least the turn-based gameplay that we saw that apparently is in Final Fantasy X or lower, and we're not getting that. We're still in the action RPG phase, and as far as I heard from Square Enix as a company, apparently they've been wanting to make Final Fantasy an action RPG game since the beginning. Like, they actually never wanted Final Fantasy to be turn-based. And that's why you slowly but surely saw them, with the active time battle system and them just slowly but surely moving away from turn-based and to where they are now. So apparently this is what they've always wanted for the franchise. And which is, for people like me that like turn-based, is sad.
Yeah.
I like my action RPGs, but I don't want that from Final Fantasy. But that's not what Square wants for Final Fantasy.
That's also another thing, but real quick, we got a super chat from South Park King 2, $2. Nomura is always in the shadows.
Don't you lie to me. I have hope. I ain't seen one belt yet.
And like for the people who are probably upset that this isn't a turn-based game, you need to get over it. Mainline Final Fantasy is never, ever going back.
Really?
It's never happening.
Man, that's sad because it's like it's not the fact that turn-based doesn't sell. It just doesn't sell as much as action RPG because games like Dragon Quest and Persona have shown that you can make turn-based and it can be good and it can sell well, But Square is just like, no, not for Final Fantasy.
Not for Final Fantasy. Like, you gotta leave that to your World of Final Fantasies. Leave that to Bravely Default. Leave it to Octopath Traveler. Leave it to those games. And outside Square Enix, Persona.
And Dragon Quest as well.
If I may draw a comparison as a fighting game fan, Final Fantasy is like the Street Fighter of JRPGs. Everything has to be set to that standard, and if it isn't following that standard, some people are going to see something wrong. Like, people will say, oh, there's no FGC without Street Fighter, but there's still much better fighting games than Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
There are people out there who say there are no JRPGs without Final Fantasy when there are much better JRPGs than Final Fantasy.
Absolutely.
Depending on the JRPG, but yeah.
Yeah, you also got your Legend of Hero games, which that might actually go towards action. And
Disgaea and Tales.
Yeah, they are slowly trying to do something with that.
But yeah, mainline Final Fantasy, never going back. to turn-based, unless for one of their entries they're gonna be like, "Oh, we're trying to get back to form, so we're gonna go ultra retro and try to, all that good stuff."
I actually do. I still hold hope. I do think that eventually, someone in the upper echelons that controls Square, someone up there is going to eventually say, "We going back to turn-based, man. Final Fantasy 18. This is turn-based." Something tells me I'm not going to use the word. I don't know, right? Because I think 17 is going to be, their MMO game. I do not think that. Yeah, sure, Shadow. You think that they will never? I think that it will. It's just a matter of time. When 2053? Who the fuck knows when? But I do think I wouldn't say never.
I agree with Riku.
I do think eventually it's just a matter of time. They're gonna say this one is turn-based.
Okay, games will come back in fashion. They always do.
Can we at least say to Final Fantasy 20? It's not gonna go back to turn-based. Maybe after.
Oh, I don't know about that. Think about this. Would you say prior to 16 being released, would you say did you think that there was a chance that they would go back to medieval?
Yeah. They could jump all over the place with Final Fantasy, honestly. I
know I've heard a few people saying that I don't think they'll ever go back to like super medieval ever again.
Oh no, they could have went back to modern fantasy. They could have jumped back to medieval. It didn't really matter. It was up in the air. I just could have 100% told you that it was not going to be turn-based.
Let's call it right now. Final Fantasy 17 is going to be the mainline Dissidia.
Oh, please, God, no.
Nah, like the PSP Dissidias, the good ones.
Well, okay.
All right, so that's our Final Fantasy 16, Phil.
That's our Final Fantasy.
Yeah. We ask that if you are here, hit that like button. And if you're watching this in post, drop us a comment. We're also on Anchor. We're going to be moving out to Apple Podcasts and to Spotify soon. So check us out on there as well.
Interesting.
All right. So what should we talk about next? Should we get into Monster Hunter?
Man.
Let's talk about Monster Hunter. Blake, I feel like you're the Monster Hunter aficionado around here, man. You want to kick us off with this?
All right, so let me talk to you people.
Let's talk about Rise first.
Nintendo dropped a surprise Nintendo Direct out of nowhere, another partner showcase. People were like, "Well, it's probably just gonna be a shitty Shin Megami Tensei Direct." So Twitter being Twitter. I didn't get to watch it because those are the deaths. It was what, Thursday? Yeah. That was the day PS5 pre-orders went live. So I was being Black Friday'd. I was being trampled. So anyway, yeah. So they show a bunch of games. I didn't actually get to watch it, like I said, but I don't even know everything they showed. But they showed Monster Hunter. They showed two Monster Hunter games. They showed Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories 2. Monster Hunter Rise is a hybrid Monster Hunter game. It's using like a modified version, or no, it's using the RE engine. So the engine that it's using the engine that was used for our Resident Evil Remake 2 and 3, and it's basically a hybrid combat system between World's Clutch Claw combat and Generations Ultimate Hunter art style of combat. The map is going to be a bit, or the way the game is going to play, it's going to play a little bit more like World in the sense there's no more areas. It's all just one big loaded map. But the game looks like to be a lot more free-formed. Like if you see a cliff, you can run up and like scale that cliff without much effort. And so it's going to be a little bit more open world per se. And it looks very interesting because this leaked roughly a year and a half ago. There was a rumor that Capcom was using the RE engine to make a from-the-ground-up Monster Hunter Switch game. It's basically for all the Nintendo fans who wanted to play World that couldn't play World because World was not going to be on the Switch no matter which way you sliced it.
Indeed.
So that happened. And then they also announced Monster Hunter Stories 2. I think I speak for the vast majority of people when I say no one gave a shit about Monster Hunter Stories 1.
I'm about to say. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now Shadow, by all means, correct me. Did you play Monster Hunter Stories 1?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Okay, yeah. So like I was saying, but people like Shadow have been taken aback by Monster Hunter Stories 2, and they look like they're really interested in it. Me personally, I'm more into the mainline Monster Hunter series. I'll give Stories 2 a try because it looks less kiddish, less chibi, and less childish. It looks like it's got a bit more of a serious undertone, which is what I like about Monster Hunter. So we'll see how it goes. I still feel like it's going to be that like cutesy art style where it's not going to be like super serious, but the overall it looks like it's kind of like the jump in Pokemon when they went from like X and Y to Sun and Moon, like how they got rid of the chibi and now they're like actual like humans. So I do like that art style. And yeah.
Okay. Pelvic, you got any thoughts on these Monster Hunter games?
Nah, I'm not a Monster Hunter person. I tried to be, but it's just not for me.
Now wait. Did you play with people or by yourself?
I'll have you know, I played with people. I played 3, and then I played 4, and every week, my friends and I, if we had a full party of 4, would meet, at her house, and we'd play Monster Hunter for hours. And I tried to get into it. I tried, and I tried, and I tried.
If I may interject, IMO 3 and 4 are not good starting spots because they're very difficult. Generations Ultimate or even World are very easy to get into if you were ever looking to try and get back into it.
Let me ask you this: Would it aid the fact? Okay, the thing I don't like about Monster Hunter is it's like very grindy. You have to fight the same enemy, same time. You just have to hit the head this time or the tail. Grind for whatever item, get the best armor, and then literally rinse and repeat with the next strongest monster.
That kind of is the core of Monster Hunter. However,
Yeah.
if you're good at the game, you can run through the entire game without any armor.
I would say
that's not for me.
In regards to the gameplay loop that you mentioned, that is definitely end game what people are doing. In regards to Monster Hunter as a franchise and what Blake said, I tried to get into Monster Hunter prior to Monster Hunter World existing, and I was just like you. I don't see it. This game is stiff. I do not like the gameplay loop. I probably will never get into this franchise, right? And then World happened. It is definitely it's definitely, in my opinion, the best Monster Hunter to get into. It eases everything. It makes everything a lot more.
It's very beginner friendly.
And in regards to the gameplay loop, like I said, in my opinion, I feel that is kind of a more end game gameplay loop. Everything up to that point is you just progressing through the story, and that gameplay loop becomes something that you want to do because you want to progress through the story and get stronger anyway, So you get to a point where you want to go out and fight this, creature to get this thing, to progress to the story, even if the story is not compelling or interesting enough, you're just trying to you want to progress. So
I'm just gonna take your word for it. I literally have.
I understand. I'm not trying to sway you to get into it. I'm just saying in regards to Monster Hunter World, in defense for Monster Hunter World in particular, not the franchise. Because outside of Monster Hunter World, when I saw these two, I didn't care. I didn't want to play them. I told my friend. I literally told my friend, if it's not Monster Hunter World 2, I don't want it.
Wow.
That's what
Honestly, Rise probably could be just because of the art style and like the gameplay, like where they have the clutch claw and they have a lot of the stuff carried over from World. It's like a World like 1.5.
Yeah.
It just graphically does not look like World because the Switch will implode.
Yeah, understandable. I'm still give me World 2 on PlayStation 5, which probably will happen like mid-gen.
Gab, what do you think about these Monster Hunter games?
I mean, honestly, I haven't been super into Monster Hunter since like high school. I have Monster Hunter Worlds on PC, but honestly, I just couldn't get into it. So, although I like the series, I probably won't get Rise, but like I guess we'll see. Time will tell.
Okay.
Fun fact: I don't know if Gab remembers, but the first time I actually met Gab was through Monster Hunter.
Really?
Oh,
Fun fact.
It was Generation on 3DS. It was me, you, and Bao all playing.
Oh yeah.
That was the first time I met Gab.
Yeah, I don't remember that. You're not that memorable.
Sosuke, what do you think of these Monster Hunters?
I'm not super interested in stories. Like I'm more about the mainline games. For me, Rise looks like a natural progression of older Monster Hunter and the stuff that's done in World, and I can't wait for that. The idea of like more vertical combat, there's more freeness to the areas. Like if you generally want to just climb over a mountainside into the next area instead of walking in there and being extra about it, you can. It also looks like they added a new weapon on top of the new mechanics, so I'm just like, I'm excited.
A weapon?
Scythe thing, when they were demonstrating like the rope dart claw thing. I don't know what they
I'll
called
look
it.
back at it.
But
Interesting.
yeah, like that looks sick. And
So
a lot of it just looked good.
So,
Especially like jump, backdash in the air, and then great sword swing. That's amazing.
so wait, this isn't a mainline Monster Hunter game?
It is.
Rise is mainline, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rise
I'm about
is
to say. I was like,
Stories isn't mainline.
Okay. For me personally, Monster Hunter games just never clicked. Really quick, we got super chat from Jaja versus the World, Jaja versus World. There's Monster Hunter fans, and then there's Monster Hunter World fans.
Ooh,
That's
yeah,
what-
that's
goddamn.
different.
That's
That's different.
definitely-
Yeah.
I can agree to that.
That's true.
Okay,
You
so wait,
either-
was World like the plate, like that messed
World is
up?
like the Fire Emblem Awakening. It simplifies, it smoothens everything out, and allows new people to come in. However, the things that they add to World aren't in the older games, so it sometimes sways people who got into World from going back to the older games.
Like,
how Fire
for
like
example, Shadow, in Monster Hunter, you need in order to mine something from like ore, you have to make pickaxes and bring them with you. In Monster Hunter World, there's no pickaxes. You can just mine whenever you want, like an unlimited amount of time.
Another thing.
I
They
also-
simplified everything and made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I also want to mention this is the first Monster Hunter I got into, was the 3DS one. They seriously like threw you in basically with no direction.
At all.
And that's what made it really hard for a lot of people to like get into it, is because it was really hard to learn. But once you learned it, it was like crack.
Oh yeah, you just
Yeah.
blink and you have 200 hours in. You're like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And because you could play it with friends, that was kind of like the benefit of it. And since like, you're in high school, your friends have 3DSs, what are you going to play at lunch together? Oh, let's hunt a couple monsters and get some cool gear, guys.
Yeah.
No, they could definitely be a lot more forgiving when it comes to the drop rate on certain monsters.
Agreeable.
They definitely use that as their way of padding out how long you, in particular, play the games. You'll be sitting here trying to get a specific horn from a specific enemy, and then you'd be fighting that for like 700 times. That's where I personally fell off.
Oh, and the problem is with that too is like if you made one piece of the armor in the 3DS one, it would make it harder to get the other pieces. Like it would make them less likely to drop. So
Oh,
basically, you would have to not craft the armor at all, and then
Until you have
basically collect all the materials and then make it all at once.
Oh,
Are you serious?
that
Yeah.
is-
Yeah,
ooh,
that was
that
a
is
drop rate.
stupid.
That was a drop rate
Yep.
thing. In
Oh
Generations
my-
Ultimate, it was
Yeah, that is
fixed,
ugly.
and World is basically perfect with it. You can just farm a monster and probably
Yeah.
get everything you need in one fell swoop.
Mhm.
What kind of mechanic is that? Why? Oh
It,
my
it was
god!
to
It's
incentivize
to make it longer.
Yeah, like I
it's
said.
artificial longevity. It was to incentivize
Oh.
fighting the monster, learning the patterns, getting better at it to a
Mhm.
point where it's like, yo,
Uh,
that was free, and I got the armor. Why do I feel
Atrocious.
tired?
in terms of like Monster Hunter length as well, another thing like with World as well, whereas like so for example, World has 45 monsters, Generations Ultimate has 93. Generations Ultimate has double the content that World does in terms of monsters. So I wouldn't say that like they try and make you like hunt monsters more for like artificial like play like more playtime, because I mean like me when I played Generations Ultimate, I don't think I ever locked a single actual set. I just put whatever, I just like Frankenstein build the entire game.
It's interesting because me and my relationship with Monster Hunter is kind of weird because I will play Monster Hunter like games before I actually play Monster Hunter.
The same.
So like you'd play
Same.
God Eater, Tolkien,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ragnarok, Odyssey
Yeah.
before that.
It's
I played them all. Like,
weird.
I
Oh,
played.
Ragnarok Odyssey. Nah, man, I'm sorry.
Phantom Hourglass is worse though. That was more of what Blake didn't like. about
Okay,
Wind Waker.
yeah, but like to say it's worse. I mean, wow,
Aren't
the
they sequels to
goalpost
Wind
is
Waker?
very low.
No,
Yes, they are.
Spirit Tracks is technically not a sequel. It's like its own thing, but don't
Oh,
worry.
it's not a direct sequel. Absolutely, it's a sequel. Are you kidding me? They literally mention like Terra, like one of. In fact, what are you talking
I
about?
know-
One of the fucking.
I don't
the
consider it a
characters-
sequel. It's still its own game. Phantom Hourglass is the direct sequel.
Phantom Hourglass is a direct sequel, but like Spirit Tracks is absolutely in the Wind Waker timeline. Like,
Yes.
Hold on, are we back
Absolutely.
up? Chad, are we back up? Are we good to go? I think
Let me refresh the page. I still see it's canceled.
Yeah, we back.
It might be on
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah,
Oh, no, we're
I
back.
refreshed.
okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why Streamlabs OBS decided to crash midway through. I hope the stream is good and the backup is going to be good as well. Oh man. All right. So we're still. You guys went crazy with Zelda, or I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, yeah, because
next-
someone
the
was
next
trying
topic-
to mislead Blake. Anyways,
I like
someone was trying to
trains.
mislead Blake.
That
Okay.
too?
You could like trains. You could like trains, but like good trains. Like
That is a
Thomas?
good train.
no, it's not. No, it's not. You are lying. You are lying to Blake.
Slander.
If you want
Dude.
trains, continue to play Cold Steel. You can drive the train and play Blade. You get to go.
Anyway, so back to Monster Hunter, but what we were talking about before. So let's talk about Monster Hunter stories.
Yeah.
Should I talk about Monster Hunter stories? Because I don't know anything about these games.
Yeah, because that one looks a little bit better than me. I don't know that one
Really?
seems that has
It's
a
a traditional JRPG.
That's the one with the Asian style designs, right?
exactly. Yeah, it has more of a JRPG feel to me.
No, it straight up just is a JRPG.
Yeah, and like the other Monster Hunters, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, they feel like just Western RPGs that happen to be JRPGs for the most part. But
So this is Tokiden done right, is what you're saying.
it could be. I almost feel like a little bit of Nino Kuni from it.
Yeah.
It's very Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
Very.
So I'm definitely gonna jump on that one rather than Rise. Absolutely.
Or should you get both and then play the Rise with us?
I'm probably not gonna play Rise at all.
Pain.
But yeah, Blake, I'm not just into this game because of quote unquote, as you put it, anime titties.
Listen, bro.
Huh? What was that about? Huh, buddy?
Listen, man.
Let's talk about it.
Shadow Elite gets into a series that he otherwise has no interest in. Titties is the first thing I think of.
That's you!
Thank you.
The both of them, basically.
No, that ain't me. All right, listen, I gotta have good. Listen. I ain't gonna lie. I might have some, preference when it comes to certain characters, and stuff like that.
We
But
ain't gonna talk about Emma, but
listen, man, don't be talking about my Emma, all right, man. We gonna have to step this outside, all right, man. All right, talk with my Emma, all right. Leave Emma alone. But still, like it just has an aesthetic that I like. Basically, that's what it's
So what
about.
you're trying to tell me is that you would have played that Fate game on your phone a lot, the same amount if they removed the anime titties.
Your silence is very assuring.
I can't protect you on this one, Shadow. One of your favorite servants is Mama Raiko, and she was drawn by Raita.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like anime titties.
You ever seen the chicks from Valkyria Chronicles, Riku?
I have.
There is a servant in Fate Grand Order drawn by the same guy who does the chicks from Valkyria Chronicles.
Oh, okay.
If you look,
Yeah,
if you look at her
okay.
design, you'll.
All right, listen here, Riku. All right, so first of all, Fate is a different thing,
Is it?
Those types of games we all know while we're playing those, okay? For the most
Really?
part, okay? All right.
I don't.
Gameplay?
I don't play any games on my phone, so you're gonna have to enlighten me.
Oh man, listen. those are just gotcha game waifu stuff that you'll
Are you
play.
sure? Are you sure the gotcha mechanic is what got you, or is it the titties that got you?
Okay.
Ooh.
Damn,
Okay.
son.
all right.
Okay.
Sassy.
Okay. All right. The titties did get me,
Okay.
but I still play it for the gameplay.
Okay.
All right. So I'll say that much.
We will let Shadow live for today, people.
I ain't never heard no one say that.
Real quick, we got super chats a little bit a while ago when we went down from Night Fury 1507. You should watch the Alteron fight in Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Oh,
Yeah.
Elatrion.
One of the hardest fights in the game.
No, don't touch that fight.
I mean, it's anime as shit. Like it looks amazing graphically.
You die just like
He
Vegeta.
will, yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
Vegeta, Jesus. Hey,
Yeah,
right.
no, you get melted.
All right, but yeah, point still stands. I need good gameplay to keep me around. This is why I don't play every single mobile game Azure Lane and Grand Blue Fantasy Underneath the Sun, because I don't like the gameplay. All right, Fate Grand Order's gameplay I can resonate with. All right.
Great Granddaughter is just Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories changed my mind.
All right. So let's see. I think we got the Monster Hunter talk out.
Indeed.
Let's talk about Disgaea.
I have never played a Disgaea, but I will say I love every character design ever. Like, just every time a Disgaea game comes out, I get so excited for the art. You know, and I know this is the first 3D one, which I'm not gonna lie, I think it looks good. I think it looks great. I think it still has that comedic tone. I think it looks great. The art direction is fantastic. Like, I love it. I think I don't think it lost the spirit of Disgaea at all. In regards to, like, I guess looking at the other games, because again, I've never played one, but it looked like a natural progression into 3D. I adored it, man. I thought it looked really, really fun and zany.
To me personally, I don't know how I feel about this. I like the move to 3D. It hurts me, but it still looks like Disgaea, no doubt. It definitely looked like, and it's gonna play like Disgaea. You'll have all the levels that you can grind, all the stats that you can get up to the millions, probably billions, quadrillions, or whatever. But yeah, there's just a certain thing about Disgaea. I played all the Disgaeas, 1, 2, 3, D2, 4, 5. I played them all, and it's just they have this look, this charm to them that I love the anime aesthetic that they have. Now, I'm still going to keep that same anime aesthetic. It's just that it really translates well from its artwork to the in-game sprites. And like I said, those sprites really just hold a special place in my heart. And I feel like they're part of Disgaea. And the move to 3D just, I feel maybe something is going to be taken away from that. I don't know. I got to play the game myself to see what's up. But this move to 3D, I got to see more and I got to play it myself.
To be honest, no, I do understand how you feel. Like, that's how I felt with, like, Phoenix Wright moving to 3D. I was like, it doesn't look bad, but there's just some charm about pixel art. So I do understand, like, your grievances, if you will. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know it's going to be good. You know, it still has the same, like, vibes, you know? It's just, there's a charm about it. So, no, I completely understand.
Yeah, because, like, I just recently went to play Disgaea 4 on my PC via Xbox Game Pass, which I did not see Disgaea 4 coming out on Xbox at all. Even though it's not on Xbox console, it's still on Xbox Game Pass, which is just, Disgaea ain't loyal. But yeah, I was just remembering the good times I had with it, looking at all the sprites and looking at all the characters. It just looks so great. There's like a lot of nostalgia rush that I get. And here, it just looks like the move to 3D. Okay, they had to move to 3D because it's easier to make 3D models than it is to make sprites, I believe.
Yes.
Is it? Really?
It is.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Sprites take more time and are a bit more
Or they're
expensive.
normally hand drawn.
it's like with anime where, you know, in today's age, hand drawn takes a
That's
lot more
true.
time than
Okay.
CG.
Fair enough. I could be wrong.
Yeah. And Disgaea, the history of Disgaea, it's had a very troubled development cycle, like recently, like with games, like they're not selling that well, and then Disgaea Mobile launched in Japan. I believe it's called Disgaea RPG, and it tanked so terribly that it cost NIS a lot of money and a lot of goodwill. And they spent like a long time trying to fix it. And I think it's good now. But now they're seeing that Disgaea is selling pretty well on Switch, which is why this game looks like it's to be Switch exclusive. Almost.
Allegedly, the PS4 version is going to be Japan exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why. I'm used to seeing Disgaea on PlayStation, but you know, I'll play whatever anywhere. It's just I hope the Switch version, performance wise, isn't, you know, lacking. If I see PS4 gameplay from Japan and it's like running really well, and then on Switch you got some choppiness, some frame rate issues, I'm going to be really upset. So there's always that. Looks like we got a super chat from South Park King. If one of each of you were a Disgaea class, which would you be? Prinny who reincarnates into a ninja in my case because I need to pay up for my sins. I would probably be the Disgaea 5 rabbit. There's like a Disgaea 5 rabbit class, so I'd probably be that.
You a rabbit?
Yeah, I can see myself being a really powerful rabbit. I could have gave myself like an android or martial artist. That would have been cool. But I could see myself as a rabbit being in Disgaea's zany world. You know. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the classes here for Disgaea.
I'm looking them up right now. There's a super robot class, Dibs.
I think that's the android.
That's me, bro.
I feel like
I'm not familiar.
I feel like
What
pelvic.
would I be?
You probably be like the female martial artist.
Oh, stupid. Hold on. I want to see. Is demon not a cool class? What? I guess it's a race. Really.
I think it's like Majin or something like that.
I want to know what the classes are. Hold on. I will get back to you on that. We'll come back to that. So skip me for now.
I feel like Gab would be a succubus.
Oh God, yeah, probably.
I want to be an overlord. What the hell? I want to be an
I put Toasty's
overlord.
class in the group chat.
Exactly. Murder.
What?
That's exactly what it is, Blake.
Like
What?
Demon Buster.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see that one. That's just a.
I do like that character. I do like that character's design though.
That's just
I have
Adele,
to
isn't
kind
it?
Yes.
I think you just want that. That's an actual character. We want like classes.
Is Demon Buster even a class?
I mean, technically it is, but it's exclusive to Adele.
Well, that's not fair. Either Demon Buster like Adele or Fighter, because one of my strongest units currently in Disgaea 1, which I put down for many reasons, is a fighter, and it's just that fighter puts in work.
But this guy is gonna be it's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna enjoy it. You guys know me. I'm gonna go for the super boss. I'm gonna beat down Baal's ass, Bale, whatever his name is. I'm gonna beat his ass down. So you guys can look forward to that. Bale. Yeah, I'm gonna live stream that absolutely. So in the chat, just real quick, are you guys for the move to 3D or would you rather it stayed in 2D?
I'm for it.
I'm for it.
Oh wow, y'all really for it?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
To
not
be
a
honest, I
super
will say
Disgaea
that I
fan.
tried to get into Disgaea 4, but I really struggled, and I didn't really like it, but I am gonna try again with this one.
Okay.
I
Like,
am to no degree.
Oh, Riku, you don't care about this one?
No, I'm saying I do not like the fact that they moved away from Sprite.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I am someone who is interested in getting into Disgaea. I will be starting from one and working my way up, and it is kind of disappointing to know that this is the future that I have to look forward to.
Yeah. It's weird. I know it's gonna be good, but man, am I not
Do you
looking
know that,
forward
though?
to these
Do I have to show you guys a little game called Super Robot Wars OE? Because
Shut up, Blake! That doesn't exist!
I mean, we ain't gonna talk about bad 3D models. I could show you some gifs of some bad 3D models.
Blake, what are you talking about? There are no 3D SRW games.
Wow, it looks like a lot of people in the chat are for the move to 3D. Okay, so maybe it's just me. I guess. So me and Riku.
Guy leaving behind pixelated sprites, Final Fantasy mind turn-based games. Yeah, love to see it.
Yeah, that's just another thing. That it's never gonna go back. It's never gonna go back to.
That's
2D.
the thing. That's the thing, Shadow. You think they're ever gonna go back?
Nah,
Nah,
they're never gonna go back.
That won't be.
Especially if this sells well, forget it. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Actually, how do you guys?
Then they can see that they can get away with less.
How do you guys think? You guys think it was like a similar? It's probably not comparable at all. But like when Pokemon went from 2D to 3D.
Actually, yeah,
I think
kind
a lot
of.
of people were excited. I remember seeing a lot of people were excited to see Pokemon.
Yeah.
People were excited. Like, I think the general consensus were people liked it, the move to 3D. But me, I felt like Black and White 2, the sprites in that game is just so good. And I would love for Pokemon to go back to that.
I want them to go back to 2D, and I think a lot of people do, but they're never going to.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
Ever.
Pokemon, I can definitely see it never happening. I honestly, to be honest with you, I can kind of see them going back to 2D in Disgaea. Like
Really?
for some odd reason, I, I'm not saying that this will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, let's say Disgaea came out on Switch, does well. Disgaea 6 complete for PlayStation 5. We're back to sprites. That would be funny.
Well, they'd have to remake like the entire game, like, because I assume that this has like a big, like, pull on the game. Like, you can't just make all like because. Like all the cutscenes and like worlds and stuff, everything will be rendered in 3D, I assume.
I think, yeah. Well, we don't know how the main HUD is gonna look, but as a whole, like the battle system and how the battles are played out on these like 3D fields, yeah, they wouldn't have to do so much. They'll have to create a lot for the attacks. The attack animations would need all those sprites and need every single angle and position made for each sprite. So, yeah, that's actually gonna happen.
Yeah, but I can definitely see this coming to even though there's a rumor that it's only going to be Japan for PlayStation.
Yeah,
I could see, you know, even as someone that isn't that knowledgeable on Disgaea, I've seen how many variations of one Disgaea game they have coming out. How many times I could have swore there was one Disgaea. Was it? I mean, it may have been 3, where it was 3, and then it was 3 that came out on the Vita. It was like a different version of 3. And then there was a third version of 3, no? Or 3 and 4, one of those two.
I want to say, yeah, there was the first 3 that released on PS3, then there was 3 that released on Vita.
Like Plus, I think it was called Plus on the Vita. And then it came one more time.
You might be right. I can't remember. There was this guy
I'll look it up.
which was like twice.
But yeah, the fact that they would release those more than twice, I would think that third version is the one that we would see here.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this guy. I'm gonna buy it, of course, and play it, but I'm gonna be a little bit skeptical when it comes to that 3D. All right, so let's get to the PS5. Let's talk about the PS5 here, people. Oh, real quick, we can talk about Room Factory real quick.
Ooh.
There it is.
Excuse me. Let's talk about Room Factory. So from what I've seen, I don't mess with Room Factory like at all. I don't care. Like each Room Factory game, like I only played one Room Factory thing. I think that was Tides of Destiny or something like that on PS3, and I played it for like 2 hours. I was like, this ain't it for me. I'm gonna leave it alone. But this one, yeah, this one looks pretty good.
Voice crack.
I'm not averse to what I'm seeing here so far.
Do you not like Harvest Sims?
No, absolutely not. Nah,
Okay. I wondered if that was it, because it's like 50-50 Harvest Sim and then actually battling and stuff like that. So I can understand why you wouldn't like that part of it.
Yeah, that kind of turns you off. But like, I saw the combat for this one. The combat looks pretty decent. I mean, this is not a game that I would get day one, but you know, it's a game that I would rather see some people play and tell me about it, and then I'll go get it.
I definitely am interested in it. I play a lot of Harvest Sims, like Harvest Moon and stuff. Love that. So I'll probably play it. And I also I had the 3DS one, so I'm definitely interested to see what they did to change it.
Anybody else interested in Room Factory 5?
Nope.
Not really. I don't know anything about the series.
Damn.
Ouch.
I'll get into it eventually. First, Disgaea.
What if it's dead by the time you get into it?
Fine by me. I can take my time. But if it
Shut up,
dies,
Blake.
that means clearly there was something that caused it to die.
So
Shut up, Blake.
So Gab, with Room Factory games, are they like, you know, you have to harvest a lot to progress with the story, or is it like maybe a little bit optional?
No, you have to like farm and stuff to progress.
Okay, all right. I'm probably.
But you can also get married, and there's lots of waifus.
You can do that in real life, though.
See,
Except in real life, you can get rejected.
see, that sounds good and everything. It's just
Blake,
that.
did you see my tweet that blew up?
No, I did not.
Okay, it was. I'll just. I'll send it to our group chat because it's pretty funny. Give me a second here.
Yeah. By the way, that whole Disgaea thing. It was Disgaea 4. First, it was Disgaea 4, a promised Unforgotten for the PlayStation 3, and then it was the Vita version, Disgaea 4. What do they call it here? Return or something like that. And then there was it was called A Promise Revisited on the Vita, and then it
Right.
which was Disgaea 4 Complete Plus. That was the third version of Disgaea 4. So they did Disgaea 4 3 times.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! They need to redo the Disgaea 3, but don't put it in 3D. Put it in.
They need to redo Disgaea 2. Doesn't Disgaea 2 only have like one version?
Yeah.
That was it.
No, there was Disgaea 2 on PS2, and then the Disgaea 2 Dark Hero Days on PSP.
So isn't Disgaea 2 the only one out of like the mainline Disgaea games that you kind of can't play on modern consoles?
No, you can play Disgaea 2 on PC.
Modern consoles?
Oh, I thought
I didn't
consoles.
say-
No.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yes, you can play it on PC. You PC.
Riku, you have a Winmax.
I do. I'm
Word.
playing right now.
That's just
You are a PC gamer.
I
You
mean,
are a
heck,
hardcore gamer.
but maybe I want them trophies. Point is,
You can get trophies on Steam.
what about those people? What about the PlayStation guys who are playing Disgaea 1 through 5 and they don't get to play 2? You just get tell them go get a PC.
Also, Disgaea 3, I don't think is on a console. No, Disgaea 3 is on PS3
PS3 and PS Vita. Yeah.
and Vita.
It's on
Okay,
PC.
yeah.
Isn't it on PC, you know?
But it needs an update. It really needs an update badly. I don't think Disgaea 3 is not on PC.
Interesting. Yeah. So wait, there isn't one place that you can play all of the Disgaea games, 1 through 5. No.
PC?
I mean,
No, wait, yeah, PC.
Well, can't
maybe.
you emulate 3?
Disgaea 1, 2. No, not 3. Yeah, you can't play Disgaea 3. Yeah, Disgaea 3 is like the only place that you can't.
Where's
play.
3 on?
unless you emulate a PS3 on.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
PS3? No, that's tricky.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, if we had backwards compatibility on the PS5, this would
Yeah, that wouldn't be in it.
Oh,
Man,
you funny boy.
We went from Room Factory 5 to Disgaea, but you know what? Since Blake brought it up, I think we're good with Room Factory for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go on to this PS5 goodness. Or is it goodness? Is it really goodness from what I'm seeing? I don't know. What's going on here with the PS5? So we got the release and we got the price. The digital version is gonna be $400. The I guess normal edition is gonna be $500. My goodness. Pre-orders went up and that went smoothly, as we all know. Completely.
Sony definitely didn't come out and apologize for how smooth it went.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nah, they've been applauded for how good they went. But yeah, Riku, you got anything to say about the PS5? What's going on?
I'm hype, baby boy. You know, Sony pony all day. Giddy up, let's go. I'm gonna be there day one. I definitely have my PlayStation 5 pre-ordered. I got 4 of them pre-ordered. No, I don't. I don't have any pre-ordered. Okay. I'm actually very disappointed that I wasn't able to get my hands on any because of these fucking. What are they called? Scalpers?
4 pre-order BG.
Yeah, BG has 4 of them.
Yeah,
And my friend, he had, as far as I remember, he had. What did I say, Blake? He had 12 when I talked to
Like
you.
that. Yeah.
He has.
How's he
16.
gonna afford that?
He apparently he buys them all on the credit card, so and then he's gonna flip them all and make all of his money back. But yeah, he had like 12 when I talked to him, and since that time, Blakey now he has 16.
Can I just say, I feel like this is gonna turn out like the hand sanitizer guy, where he just has a bunch of PS5s and then he's broke.
Oh yeah, he couldn't sell them. Yeah, that was funny.
He said he has done this in the past, but he apparently he had like 24 Nintendo Wii U's, and then
you talking about that?
yeah,
What?
And they did.
Yeah, but
sell.
yeah, Wii U did
Consider
not.
the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic right now.
I think he will make his money, but it's just like, I mean, Sony tried to do something with the scalpers with the whole,
One
you
per
know,
family per household.
that didn't work. You know, there really isn't, you know, in today's age, a good solution to
Aside from just mass producing.
So, but real quick, we got super chat from Ace Breaker. PS5 day one already pre-ordered. God damn, y'all out here.
Would I like to have one day one pre-ordered? Yes. Why? Because I am a Souls fan. I was there back in 2009 October playing Demon Souls before anyone knew what a Souls game was. You know, I was a day one guy, so I definitely want to be there day one for Demon Souls again. You know, and then I'm actually interested in Godfall as well. So those are 2 reasons for me in particular to want to play a PlayStation 5, especially since I've already told you guys, me and my PlayStation 4 have not been getting along, and I really want to chuck this DualShock 4 out the window as soon as I get my hands on that DualSense. So, I am definitely team PlayStation 5. I want one.
Hold up.
I just need to get my hands
You
on it.
said,
Go ahead.
you said you're excited for Godfall?
I am.
Okay.
Yes,
Not judging at all.
remember, I like Dynasty Warriors. I like to hack and slash away, So
I mean, me too,
Godfall
but at
ain't
least make it
new,
look
so.
interesting. Like, holy shit. I love the trailer for fucking Godfall. Brand new worlds that, like, center around Earth, air, like, water. I was like, oh, wow.
I didn't really
So original.
I didn't really give a fuck about the premise or anything like that. Like I said, I'm here for the gameplay. And in regards to what I saw, running in there, hack and slashing, dashing to the left, all that stuff, I'm about that. And the fact that it's co-op, a few of my friends are going to be there, so I'm in for it. Day one though for Godfall, I probably will be playing Demon's Souls. So I probably will wait for that to like lower on price because I thought that game was going to be free to play. It's not. That's $59. Well, actually, $69.99. So I was like, oof. Yeah, no, I'll wait on that one. The Demon's Souls, I'm there.
So wait, does anybody here actually have their PS5 pre-order on the panel?
Nope.
I'm not allowed to pre-order the PS5 as an employee.
Ah, man.
That's funny.
That's interesting.
I'm poor.
I don't want a PS5 day one, to be honest. There
neither.
were no games that, like, again, if they put out Yoko Taro, anything, I'd have been like, well,
If Yoko Tower came out,
I would have.
freaking
I
pulled
would
it.
have.
Pull his
I
dick
would
out.
have. I straight up, yup. Like, there it is, baby.
There it is.
Here's $500.
Yeah, see, I would
But
do the
no.
same thing with like Persona 6 or something like that. I definitely would have got it easily.
But-
That's what I'm saying, but none of the
Shadow.
games were, like,
Shadow.
fantastic. I don't know.
They've got Persona 5 enhanced on PS5.
Not Royal.
Not Royal.
That's the weirdest thing to me, bro. Why you got base Persona 5 for free?
I saw Joker. I'm like, oh
It's
shit,
because
Royal's gonna
base
be on
Persona
PS5.
5 is not worth anything at this point with Royal existing. So they're like, it's
Plus-
probably a lot easier for them to get 5 vanilla on there, and then you're like, oh, 5 vanilla, that was great. I got it for free. Let me go play that Royal. So I mean, at the end of the day, they got both. They got people to play both. of them.
Guys, people, if you're listening to this right now, you're in the chat or you're listening to this prior, do not play vanilla Persona 5. Just don't do a Royals
Why?
around. Don't
Just don't.
do it.
Why?
Royals 5 is good, but Royal's better.
It's just
It's like after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Don't play Pokemon Sun and Moon ever again. Just play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, move on.
exactly. It's like Black and White 2. It's the same
Black and White
thing.
2 are different games.
Okay, yeah, I guess they are. But still,
They're
don't
sequels, but-
don't do it because like Royal is largely the same as vanilla Persona 5 with some Royal content lightly sprinkled throughout, and then you get the end game at like 100 hours in. Then you start going to the real Royal stuff. Because if you play Persona 5 thinking that, oh, right after I'll just move on to Royal. No, you're going to be sitting there for 80 hours or so doing the same shit for the most part.
Also, Royals battles, like the quality of life changes, they add like baton passing as being like a staple, bro. Royals I can't go back to base 5.
Traits
What do you
for
mean a
Personas.
staple? You mean like you don't have to like level? Affinities
Everyone
up?
comes with baton passes now, so
Oh, that's kind of nice. That
that
is
is
nice.
kind of nice. It's one of it's like
Yeah.
those quality of life changes that it's really hard to go back to.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't do it to yourself. Like I know it's gonna be tempting. You haven't played Persona 5. You probably get the PS5. You get the collection, and it's like, oh, Persona 5's right here. I always want to try it. Don't do it. Don't you fucking do it.
I never thought I'd see the day where Shadow would tell somebody not to play Persona 5.
Yeah,
Not to play a Persona in general.
I'm saying. I'm not saying. Well, yeah, I guess I am. But like, play Persona 5 Royal for the love of God. Just do it. Just do that. Don't.
Yeah.
Like I would have told you if I had so much fun with Royal, like this was worth the playthrough again. Honestly, 80% of it wasn't. It was like the same. I was honestly skipping a whole bunch of dialogue. Just don't.
You just made Bao skip a heartbeat wherever he is.
I'm sorry, I had to, but like seriously, don't do it. It's tempting. Please do not do it.
Yeah, just play Persona 3 instead.
Agreed.
Oh my God.
You said it.
No.
It's compatible with the PS2.
No.
I'm trying to get
Persona
my
3 is great. I don't want to hear any slander. Thank you.
It's good, but don't play vanilla Persona 3.
Wait, hold
No,
on, wait,
that's
wait.
the only one I've played. I've never
Hold
played
up, wait,
FF yet.
wait, Sosuke, which one would you say play?
If you want to enjoy Persona 3, play Portable.
Uh,
Keyword being enjoy.
I gotta be friends with
I'll
Paul.
have you know,
Video
I played
games
the
too
base
much.
game, and I love the original. Thank you. I've never played
Oh,
FF though.
Pelvic, you've said some strange things to me already. I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah, we gotta
Like
put her
what?
on That's us.
Like what?
Word.
You're
Oh,
like,
wait, you like Spirit Tracks. That's right. Moving on. Okay.
I also like Twilight
Oh,
Princess, too.
nah.
Yeah,
We,
good stuff.
Problem?
we got a super chat from Stan E. I was able to pre-order 2 for my older and little brother. I barely got them thanks to my BBY crashing. It made it easier. Do not give up. I know. I've already given up. I think we've already given up.
we hear Sony say that they will have more PlayStation 5s at launch than they did PlayStation 4s, but you also have to take into consideration people, there are more gamers now than ever before. So back when the PlayStation 4 came out, yeah, the PlayStation 4 was able to satisfy the amount of people that wanted a PlayStation 4.
Also,
But I don't know.
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if the amount of people that want a PlayStation 5 are going to be, they're going to be satisfied with the amount that Sony says that they will be able to provide on day one. We'll see, but
Yeah, I don't see that much on day one besides the PS1 collection and maybe a handful like Demon Souls, and that's about it. But like we were talking about scalpers or scouters or whatever they're called, scalpers, whatever. Yeah, isn't it easier? Isn't it good to combat them this way? Is to just drop pre-orders out of nowhere, so they don't have time to set up and to DDoS at a website or something like that.
it is better. But it's like it's not the solution.
Okay.
When I said it earlier, as far as we know right now, there is no surefire solution to stop scalpers from doing what they do. I don't know if we ever will, especially since they have AI bots going to the sites and
Yeah.
doing their
Like they're
bidding.
it's like they're tracking Sony IP addresses, waiting for that. Like, go
There's
out.
even I heard there's even now like anti-bots that people are making to fight against scalpers. So where if someone apparently they did this with the what's that 390 that people are flipping out, or is it 380?
Oh, the
Yeah,
GTX.
Yeah, the GCX that people are flipping out about as well. People are putting those up on like eBay for like a certain amount of price, and apparently people have created bots to raise the price on it, and now they have like bots fighting over a GTX that someone wanted to sell at a higher price, to the point where it would get up to like $6,000, and then right before the bidding ends, both of the bots will back out, and nobody will pay for the
Oh my God.
graphics card, leaving the scalper like, what the fuck was that all about? And the people that actually wanted to overprice paid for it, they get outbought by these bots. So it's a hot mess, man. It's a hot mess. We're fighting robots for stuff that we want.
Super fighting robot.
It's not getting better.
So our day one offerings for PS5, I believe Demon Souls is among them, correct? And
Yeah.
and that is a remake.
As far as Kelia said, yeah. Yes, that is a
It's like
full.
a from the ground remake.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. It plays the same way. It looks the
As
same.
far as we know.
Okay, yeah, it might be different, but because it looked like a Xenoblade situation, Xenoblade Chronicles situation.
It definitely is not.
I was like, no, that looks like from the ground up. Like, it does not look like touched. It looks molested. Like it's.
Lord, no.
What?
Hey, listen, I don't know how to explain it, man. I just panicked. All right, it's fine.
No, but like
You just
back when we were
what?
panicked.
How does someone panic and go to molestation?
Jesus.
Anyway,
Like I was
across.
saying, when we were talking about when Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition first dropped, me and you mentioned the fact that certain character models for the actual characters look completely redone, but in regards to NPCs and other areas, they looked like they weren't touched at all. You know,
Yeah.
so that's definitely not the case when it comes to this Demon Souls remake, where this is from the ground up. Every single thing has been redone. This is what a true night and day looks like.
So this is just that. So this is pretty much in the same vein as Resident Evil 2 remake.
Correct.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
Correct. If I might interject, even the "You Died" screen looks a little bit different.
Yeah,
which is insane.
This is what a remake is supposed to be.
Okay, because I was getting ready to say I thought it was like just a remaster, but then I thought about it, they already had Demon Souls remaster, I believe. So it's not. It's just a full blown remake.
No,
they had Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, they never had a Demon Souls remaster. Yeah, they had a Dark Souls remaster.
Oh, they didn't. Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demon Souls has only came out on PS3. That was it.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. So this is like a full blown. Okay, cool. Because I was questioning why it would cost $70, which that is another thing we need to get into. Games
Is
are.
it true? The
Yeah.
games are $70.
It looks like
on
it.
PS5.
As far as what Sony has said, they said that their games will range from $49.99 to $69.99. They didn't necessarily say that every single one of their games will be $70, and until the games come out, we can't take their word for it because they've already said certain things. If you want to talk about that, they've already said certain things where they've contradicted themselves. But the way they phrased it is their next gen games will cost from the ranges of $49.99 to $69.99. Talking about the Vita just for a split second here, when Vita games first came out, they said something similar and they act accordingly to which and where. When Vita games, as far as everyone knows, Vita games when they first came out, they cost $39.99, but certain Vita games when they first came out, they cost $59.99. Those games were games like Uncharted Golden Abyss, where I guess Sony felt that this game was worth this price, but eventually every Vita game became $39.99. So I don't know what will happen next gen in regards to that. It might be a similar situation where you see a few games that are $70 and then they just all go back to $60, or maybe it will range. It's going to be really interesting because the Vita was just it's just a side handheld thing. Didn't really know what they were doing in regards to pricing, in my opinion. But this is the main thing right here, And then there's other companies like, who was it? 2K. They wanted to do $70 games as well. Yep. So it's not just Sony that is behind this whole $10.
EA is like FIFA for $70. Can we do that? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do we feel about that? If games do go $70 as standard, how do we feel about that? Do you think they warranted? Do you think the development process is warranted for this? Like, what's going on here, people?
For sports games, fuck no.
In regards to inflation and all that stuff, apparently games should have been $70 about a generation ago. It actually should have increased, but it didn't. You see how games are this entire generation. You wait 2 to 3 months, that $59.99 game is going to drop like a motherfucker, especially the type of game you're talking about, So unless you're someone who really cares about a specific game, you're gonna have, and obviously you want to be there midnight release. If it's a game you really give a fuck about, you're gonna have to fork up that that possible $69.99. But if you're someone that doesn't really care that much about the game, you can wait 2 months, not even 2 months. Sometimes you can wait 2 weeks, and that game will be like $49.99. $39.
Nintendo, it'll be 2 years and it'll still be full price.
Yeah, we're not talking.
Walked into a GameStop.
We're not talking about that right now.
I saw Pokemon Diamond for like $40. Almost collapsed.
But there are some games that, like, we've seen it all generation. They come out broken. They come out a mess. Like, look at Marvel's Avengers game. I've heard a lot of things about that one. And
apparently, the first major patch it's getting is fixing over 1,000 bugs.
Yeah, see, exactly. So I played full price, and let's just say we got it in the PS5 generation. I paid $70 for that game out the gate. That's where my $70 went. Like, well, what's going on here? Because they could have did this last generation, it still would have been the same. So $60.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you in regards to that. Like, Maybe in regards to the games, you need to choose the games wisely. Maybe review. I'm not saying take reviews more seriously this gen, since it's going to cost more expensive. But people don't go out there and just like buy shit day one, especially if you don't necessarily need it. If it's an Avengers game and you're on the fence about it, don't give them your $70.
I feel like Final Fantasy 16 is definitely going to be $70.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, without a doubt.
No, you didn't have to ask that, bro.
Like the next Persona game, that's going to be $70.
I mean, Canada is already at that point.
Wait, we've been past that point.
Yeah, we've been past that
now
point.
our games are $90.
I feel
Yep.
bad for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys get a price hike too. Everybody gets a price hike right now.
Oh yeah, and then there's also like DLC that comes with that might
Yeah, you think season passes are gonna go up now too?
could maybe how much is the average season pass?
Usually like
40,
20, 30.
Yeah, it's like 20.
On a rare occasion, it'll be 40 or 60.
Yeah, if they're fuckboys, it will be that high. Yeah, I would say another thing is I would say this generation. Obviously, I'm only talking about PlayStation right now, because that's the one console I've been like following their prices and whatnot. So I've seen it. In regards to PlayStation Plus, there have been decent sales throughout this entire generation when it comes to PlayStation Plus deals. I think they've done a very good job. Xbox, they have their whole Game Pass thing, so Xbox players, they don't really. I don't feel they really have to worry about paying full price for a video game. I mean, when is the last time you heard a Xbox guy even brag about the fact that they got a day?
But I think that's what PlayStation Plus Collection is for. They're gonna start doing that, aren't they?
The thing about I was talking to Blake about this on Twitter earlier. The thing about PlayStation Plus Collection, which you would assume is their answer to Game Pass, as of right now, it seems that they are trying to advertise it as a way to play PlayStation 4 games that you probably missed out on. Later in the generation, you're probably going to see PlayStation 5 games be added to this PlayStation Plus collection. But I think right now we just don't have enough information on what PlayStation Plus collection really is and what they're going to do with it,
Okay.
In regards to Game Pass, I don't know how many games there are on Game Pass, but there's a lot.
It's a ridiculous amount. I saw it on there yesterday. I'm like, this is insane.
Regardless if it's multi-platform or shovelware, there's a shit ton of games for an Xbox player to choose from and play. The PlayStation Plus collection right now, we only have 18 games.
Good question. Is I don't even know what I'm paying for at this point. Is Xbox Game Pass and Gold separate, or are they the same?
No, it's been merged now.
Okay, it's been merged. Okay,
it's just Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay,
Or
Game Pass
on
was
Xbox,
okay. All right.
Did they raise the price when that happened or no?
Is it like,
Game Pass Ultimate has always been the price. They just took away the option to buy Gold separately.
So Game Pass Ultimate is, as far as we know, what, $59.99 a year?
I don't think you can buy it yearly.
it's like monthly or like every 3 months or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty much for here in Canada. It's 45 $45 for 3 months.
I wonder how much that is a year. Like in regards to like whatever it is over here. Since you can't pay for a year, that's interesting. I did not know they took away the year subscription.
At least at my workplace, we don't sell it yearly. You could buy it yearly on the Microsoft Store, possibly. I don't go to the Microsoft Store though, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, back to PlayStation Plus collection. It seems that they're using that as a way to advertise a lot of the PlayStation 4's library to PlayStation 5, and I think for the first couple of years, that's all you're going to see on the PlayStation Plus collection is PlayStation 4 games entering and exiting its collection. So if you've played all of them like me, I've played majority of the games that they announced on there. Really isn't that good of a deal for someone like me. But if it's someone that had an Xbox and they're moving over to PlayStation, all of those games that's definitely a good deal for them.
So you think like Xbox, they have their like first party titles like Halo 5, Halo 6, whatever Halo they're on, it's gonna be day and date on Xbox Game Pass. Do you think like the new God of War game is gonna be day and date on PlayStation Collection when it gets down to that?
No, no way in hell that you will see any first party PlayStation 5 games day one on PlayStation Plus collection. 0% chance.
So that's enticing. Xbox Game Pass is really enticing. You get a lot of things.
It is an amazing value.
Yeah.
And the Xbox Series S is going to be a Game Pass machine for everyone who buys it.
Yeah. I think PlayStation Plus Collection is more for the older games that you missed out on. There's no way Sony is ever going to put any of their new games day one on PlayStation Plus Collection, especially since they said that they are not raising the price for PlayStation Plus, and they're including PlayStation Plus Collection into what we already have. Why would they give you a brand new game in the PlayStation Plus Collection? And I'm talking about a AAA game, like not a random indie game. I could see a random indie game coming day one in there.
Yeah.
But not no damn God of War, Ragnarok, day one. I just don't see it.
So
I don't see how you can.
people in Canada, you guys are already paying this unbelievable amount for games.
Like,
But,
I just Rim was like $100 for me. Like over $100.
Me personally, I get mine play discount on games, so I haven't paid full price for a game in like 4 years.
But we're prepared if games do go up, we're prepared to pay, basically, aren't we?
Pretty much.
I would.
Depends.
You would have to ask yourself your favorite game that you want. Whatever favorite game it is, like for Lady Pelvic, the next Yoko Taro game, or for me, the next Trails game. Like, can you see yourself paying, $70 day one for it?
Honestly,
I personally
Yep.
can't. See, she would. So it's like, I think it depends on the game that you are highly anticipating. You can ask anyone; they will say, "Yeah, I will pay $70 for that game." But for every game, no, they're gonna wait, and that's why I say people wait for those games to drop, because they will. They always will. Unless they're Nintendo.
So, since we got all this information on PlayStation 5, we got information on the Xbox. Who is gonna come out in front this holiday season?
PlayStation.
I really do think.
If PlayStation can supply demand, PlayStation. If not, Nintendo's probably still packing. Depends on if.
Nintendo doesn't have anything. What does Nintendo have even coming out when it comes to games this holiday?
Calamity Warriors or whatever.
Sakuna of Rice and Ruin.
Oh yeah, they do have
That's another one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fine. Let's just keep this between Xbox and PlayStation 5. Then fine.
I tried.
If
got delayed. Halo got delayed.
it's those, then it's gonna be PlayStation.
PlayStation Nation.
So PlayStation 5 is going to come out holiday season on top, it seems.
Yeah.
But doesn't Xbox have their Series S as like $100 cheaper than anything PS5?
It's $299.
It's $299, and the digital PS5 is $399. So yeah, they got the cheapest console on the market. So maybe mom and dad might go into the store and be like, "Hey, that's only $299. I'm getting Timmy this. I don't give a fuck what he says."
Wait, what's
However-
the price for Xbox? Wait a minute, what's the price for Xbox?
$299 for Series S.
Yeah, the Series S. They're
That's the newest one, right? I don't even know what the newest Xbox
Yeah.
is called. What is going on?
It's the digital version of the newest console.
Okay, no. I'm talking the most expensive version of the newest Xbox
Oh,
console.
it's
$400.
$499.
Oh, it's $500.
Yeah, it's
But
500.
digital is two. Yeah,
Wait,
500.
hold up. Series
Okay.
S is digital only?
Series S is digital only, yes.
Really, I didn't know.
Wait. Oh, no. But there's a physical copy though. There's a physical
Yeah,
version of the
Xbox
Xbox.
X.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's S.
Series
Okay.
The
But
first
you're
version.
telling me the S is $200 cheaper,
Yeah.
Yes.
whereas PlayStation, the physical copy is $500. The digital playing only is $100 cheaper, so it's $400.
You have to also take into consideration that when it comes to Xbox Series S, the technology that they have inside it is different than what is in the Xbox Series X. It's not running the same things. The Xbox Series X is more powerful than the Series S. When it comes to the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 digital, other than the fact that one doesn't have the the disk drive, their insides are the exact same.
Wait a minute, I thought the Series S was $299.
It is.
It is $299. Okay, somebody in the chat said $399. I was like, wait, what?
No.
No, I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm not gonna lie. That's $200. That's.
And,
I mean, I'll
in
never buy
terms
Xbox, but
in terms of that as well, Riku, is it still going to run like the Xbox Series versions of those games? It just won't be able to output at 4K. It'll cap at 1440p.
So,
whereas the PS5 Slim can do 4K.
So do you guys think that price is going to be a huge deciding factor this holiday season?
I don't think.
I don't think so.
I don't think that Xbox, even with this like lower price, I don't think Xbox has sold at least the hardcore and even the masses when it comes to getting them over to their side. You know? As far as what they've showcased this entire generation, they really didn't. I mean, they may debatably ended it off, well, in regards to making the Xbox people happy, with whole Game Pass and whatnot. But in regards to, games that they can only play on Xbox, that's not a thing. Every time you ask someone that, they're like, oh, I could play that on Game Pass on my PC type of thing,
So the market is pretty much full of PlayStation and Sony. They have the upper hand, and it seems that Xbox is going to have to do really a lot to get the average consumer to buy their product this holiday season. Yeah,
they should have shown on their press conference or whatever they had. They have to show off what there is to look forward for Xbox. They should have shown off what they were working on. They said they had all of these new IPs and teams that are working on stuff, but we don't know what these games are. Even when it comes to, like, let's say the God of War Ragnarok that we saw at the end of the press conference, we didn't see anything, but all we saw was a logo, and we know that it exists and it's coming. And next year, they said 2021, so they even gave us a year, even though that's probably going to get delayed. Point is, we know that it exists. That's something Xbox should have done, is at least told people.
I mean, we know Halo exists.
Yeah, but I think you need more than that. Halo, we know that in today's age, Halo does not have the pull that it had, pre Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
They 343 messed up Halo.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I don't know about mess. Yeah, sure, they messed up Halo, but I just feel that when Call of Duty 4 came out, Halo kind of died. Call of Duty 4 killed Halo as a franchise. Everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, this, Haze."
No, I think Halo killed itself as a franchise.
No, Call of Duty 4 killed Halo.
I kind of agree with Gab on that one. Like when 343 took over,
it's a combination.
The game series went to shit, so it dug its own grave. It wasn't about Call of Duty at all. It was about the games being bad.
No, it is.
It's a combination of the two, if you really think about it.
The biggest blow to Halo was Call of Duty 4. That is no debate. Trust me. That it is Call of Duty 4 that did. If Call of Duty,
I think that's personal opinion, not fact.
No, it is factual. You can look it up.
I gotta look that up afterwards because I feel like
it was Call of Duty 4.
Rika does make a point. Rika does make a good point there with that, because if you think about it, every military first-person shooter that came out after Call of Duty 4 wanted to be Call of Duty 4, while Halo was still trying to be itself, thus detracting people away from it because, this isn't Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty, even like you said, with Halo killing itself, it was because the later Halos wanted to grab what Call of Duty 4 was, adding stuff like sprint and all of this other stuff. They lost themselves after Call of Duty 4 came out. Pre-Call of Duty 4, Halo was the first-person shooter that made that genre.
So you're saying even if Bungie was behind it, it doesn't really matter because Bungie leaving Halo was a big blow.
No, it was. I don't think it was.
That was the downfall. That was one of the biggest downfalls is when they changed studios.
No, I would say that is the second biggest thing, but I think the biggest thing is Call of Duty 4. I think even if Bungie was still with Halo, after Call of Duty 4 came out, they still wouldn't have been able to take back what Call of Duty 4 did to them.
I mean, Reach was still super successful.
It's still not Call of Duty 4. It's still not Call of Duty successful. Call of Duty comes out every year and is financially successful every fucking year.
No matter how much a trailer may get disliked,
I feel like,
or how much a certain group of people don't like, the collective masses will still go buy Call of Duty because, oh shit, new Call of Duty, and not because of critical thinking about it. They'll just go buy it because Call of Duty.
That's true.
it could be a shitty like I hear people complain about Call of Duty Ghosts. It's still sold bangers. Like what the these Call of Duty guys.
I would agree with that. Call of Duty's kind of like Pokemon, like Grand Theft Auto. It don't matter. People are gonna buy that shit no matter what. It's gonna sell.
I'm not saying it's the only reason Halo failed. I'm saying that was definitely the biggest. All of the decisions that they made after that, I agree with you, Gabby. Definitely hurt them.
I got some comments to say here. So I looked that up and nothing came up about that. But what did come up was false advertising, which makes sense. Graphical improvements weren't actually graphical improvements. The story, I guess, and then I guess Warzone was fake, and then I don't know about split screen, but damn, the false advertising probably would do it for most of them.
Yeah, but
all right, so each console has something.
Basically, yeah, that's how it's always been
for the most part. But
yeah, if we would say one thing, if each console has one thing, yeah, you could use Halo 6 Infinite as Xbox is one thing. But day one, no, Xbox actually doesn't have anything day one.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they have a strong launch lineup to overcome.
Yeah, Game Pass one.
Yeah, that's what they're using as their exclusive is Game Pass, and
but PS5 had the collection, so that's just kind of the
equivalent.
Collection
is even a fraction of Game Pass.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, never mind.
Well, Game Pass doesn't Game Pass have like all the Yakuza games on it now as well? Like Game Pass is expanding.
Yeah,
like it's
right now
it's got everything on it.
Right now, with games increasing in price, that's the only reason why Game Pass would be looking more enticing than it has looked ever before.
So, sorry. So do you guys think at the end of the day, this holiday season, it's going to be a blowout in favor of PlayStation, or is it going to be like kind of neck and neck?
I think the people that own Xbox right now will get an Xbox Series A, and a few of them, I've heard it myself. Like in regards to some Xbox people, they want a PlayStation 5 as well. They're getting both, but I don't hear a lot of people that have a PlayStation 4 that want a PlayStation 5 saying that they want to also get an Xbox. Even when it comes to like the super cheap one. I haven't been hearing that. I don't know if you guys have.
Okay, guys. I think we're just about out of time. I think it's time to close up the podcast here and start with our outros here. Unless anybody got one more thing to add to PS5?
Spider-Man looks fun. What else did they show? Could have sworn there was one more.
Virgil and DMC5. Let's go, baby.
Okay, that don't count. That don't count. That was already released.
Sir, you have 5 copies of Persona 5. I don't want to hear it.
Sir, please. Those 5 copies are completely warranted.
Sir, I have 3 copies.
Yeah, exactly. We play great games. I don't know about you.
Excuse me, DMC5 is fantastic.
It's good. That's about it.
Wow.
Well, if I want to get technical, it's like 2 copies of Royal, and then
Yeah, see, we're out here playing quality. All right, I don't know what you out there playing. So I'm playing.
DMC5 slander. Oh my goodness.
All right, let's go out with our outros. Go ahead, Pelf.
Thank you again for having me, and of course you can find me at Pelvic Gaming on YouTube or Lady Pelvic on Twitter. I've been kind of saucy on Twitter lately, so maybe hold off on that. But yeah, everywhere else though, Instagram, Lady Pelvic, check me out. And yeah, next review you can look forward to is Wild Arms 2. Definitely taking it back to the PlayStation 1. So, all right, thank you for having me.
All right, Gab.
Thanks for having me on again for another episode. Glad to be here. If you guys want to subscribe or see any of my socials, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch as Gabmew. And I'm like 19 subs away from hitting 1.3k, so if you want to help me, that'd be nice.
All right, Sosuke?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ArisuSosuke and on Twitch at Sosuke the Wandering Gamer. I'm back to streaming Mega Man Battle Network. We started Mega Man Battle Network 4. Also streaming some Gundam Maxi Boost on for whenever people just want to throw hands and get down and just have a good time fighting with some giant robots.
Blake?
Alrighty, thank you as always for having me, Shadow. You guys can find my YouTube channel at Westtown HD. Right now, the channel's a little stagnant. I've just been doing upload random stuff here and there. I will be uploading my entire Trails of Cold Steel 1 playthrough, the VODs from Twitch. I'll be uploading all those to YouTube over time, so if you guys want to see my Cold Steel playthrough, it'll be archived over on the channel. That being said, I am still playing through Cold Steel on Twitch. I might play some more tonight. We will see. Riku has also assisted me with that. He's basically lifeguarding me so I don't drown. But I think I've basically gotten down the game to the point where I don't think I'm gonna have another problem with the boss fight. This game is a little easy now.
You know, it would be easier if you add Emma to the party. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my goodness, Shadow! Don't worry. I'll put Emma in the party next time I see you around. All right, bro. Don't worry. I ain't forgot what you did. Don't you worry.
Just making sure, man.
And, yeah, if you guys want to see me play some Cold Steel, follow me over on that Twitch. And yeah, that's basically it. Mario 3D All Stars is great. Okay.
Riku?
Riku-san one, the only one here. Good episode. We talked about some good things here, and I'm over here trying to finish up this Final Fantasy Tactics, and next month is going to be the month for that Cold Steel 4. I heard that NIS said that they're getting together the orders for the people that purchased the collector's edition. So when I get more news on that, people, and I get those collector's editions in my hand, then we can start on the giveaways for that.
Look forward to that. All right, guys. It's, of course, me, Shadow Elite. Look forward to the channel. We're gonna have a video on Final Fantasy 16 up fairly soon, I hope. We ask that you hit the like button on this video if you're listening right now, or even if you're listening in post. We're also on Anchor. This episode will be up on Anchor soon, and Anchor is going to allow us to expand to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So look forward to that if you can't listen live or you can't listen on YouTube. You got it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All right, guys, that's it. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.
Deuces.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out, people.